From the 1st of March, a whole raft of new grants for home improvement are going to be introduced and will be available. The government are intending to spend over £500 million on this scheme, so there's a lot of money to be spent, and there are a lot of people who, if they are entitled to it, they should apply for it. First of all, there'll be a new grant for windows, and a new grant for doors. In relation to doors, you'll be able to claim up to 2 doors in your house. The figure you could claim for each door will be €800, so that means that you'll be able to claim €1,600 if you're changing 2 doors in your house. There's also a grant for windows. Now, depending on the type of house you have, you can claim up to 4,000 for windows, which includes replacing double glazed or single glazed windows. Now, if the 4,000 applies to a detached house, for example, if it's a mid-terrace house, the maximum would be 3,000 and so on. So it depends on the size of the house. The important thing to remember is that in order to avail of those grants, your house will have to be insulated, or will have to be in such a good position energy-wise that it doesn't need insulation. So anybody who's got an insulation grant in the past will almost automatically qualify, because that is proof that their house actually was insulated, obviously. Now, there are grants in place for cavity walls, cavity wall insulation, internal and external wall insulation, etc. Those grants exist and they will be continued. There'll be special dispensation for first-time purchasers of second-hand homes. They'll be able to claim a higher attic insulation grant, and there will also be dispensation for recipients of certain types of social welfare. They'll be able to claim a higher attic insulation grant and also a higher cavity wall grant. So, as I say, we're having a meeting about this, in which the details of all that will be explained. The details of how to register for that accompany this video. I should also mention in passing that the present vacant homes grant, where you can claim if you buy a vacant house, a house which has been vacant for at least 2 years, you can claim up to 50,000 towards the cost of doing it up. Or if the house happens to be derelict, you can claim up to 70,000 for the cost of doing it up. Now, those new grants I've just mentioned will be in addition to those vacant home or derelict site grants. In other words, let's assume somebody wants to do up a derelict house. Obviously, they'll be claiming the derelict house grant, which is up to 70,000, but they'll also be putting in heating systems, doors, windows, etc. So they'll be able to claim, in addition to the 70,000, they'll be able to claim these SEAI grants also, which could bring, certainly in the case of a derelict house, and maybe somewhat lesser so in the case of a vacant home, it could bring the assistance they'll be getting to do up the house up to 100,000, which is extremely generous and should be very attractive and very necessary should be very attractive